Salmon gets its name from the Latin word which means to jump. Why do salmon jump? This video will explain to you the wonderful journey of salmon's journey back home. 1. Why do salmon migrate? Why do salmon migrate? This is an amazing phenomenon in nature. Salmon need to spawn and hatch in a freshwater environment. During this process, the juveniles need to grow and develop in freshwater until they are healthy enough to enter the ocean. However, salmon struggle to find enough food in freshwater environments, so they head to the ocean in search of richer sources of nutrition. In the ocean, salmon have access to a rich diet of plankton and small fish, while also being able to grow rapidly and store energy. This stored energy and nutrients will help salmon return to freshwater environments to reproduce at maturity. 2. How do salmon know their way home? Salmon have an ability called geomagnetic induction. Can sense Earth's magnetic field to help them navigate. In addition, salmon can also rely on smell memory to identify their birthplace. And along the river upstream, swim back to the original birthplace to spawn. Salmon are also able to rely on the ability to see and hear, such as jumping and listening to the sound of water to find spawning sites. 3. What difficulties do salmon encounter when migrating? Salmon run into various difficulties when migrating. Here are some of the main ones. 1. River obstacles. Salmon require long-distance swimming to spawn upstream. However, there are various obstacles in the river such as waterfalls, rapids, stones and accumulations, etc. These obstacles need to be overcome to reach the spawning site. 2. Predators. During migration, salmon are often attacked by other predators, such as bears, eagles, sharks, etc. 3. Water pollution. With the increase of human activities, the water quality in rivers and oceans is getting worse. This is detrimental to salmon survival and reproduction. 4. Fishing. Human fishing for salmon is a long-standing problem. This has caused serious harm to salmon populations and migration paths. 5. Climate change. Climate change has affected water temperature, acidity and water levels in rivers and oceans. This could alter salmon migration patterns and population distributions. 4. How high do salmon jump when migrating? During the migration process, salmon will jump over obstacles of different heights. Examples include waterfalls, rapids, and rocks in rivers. According to research, salmon jumps can reach a height ranging from 1.5 to 3 meters. There are even some salmon that can jump more than 4 meters high. Salmon's jumping ability isn't just for reaching spawning sites, also to escape predators and protect themselves from harm. 5. Do salmon eat when they migrate? During salmon migration, they expend a lot of energy. Therefore, a large amount of food is required as a reserve. However, once it enters the stage of spawning in the river, salmon don't eat anymore, because their bodies have begun to undergo a series of changes. For example, the abdomen is deformed, the fins turn red, and the fish scales fall off, etc. These changes will cause the salmon to lose their appetite and begin to reproduce. Therefore, salmon will consume as much food as possible as energy reserves before spawning, and use these energies to complete the process of migration and spawning after spawning. 6. Do salmon rest when they migrate? Salmon don't really rest during their migration, but they slow themselves down in areas with slower currents to save energy. In addition, when salmon encounter obstacles with fast currents, they need to jump to overcome these obstacles. This can also be said to be a short break, allows the salmon to temporarily relax its body during the jump. Therefore, although salmon do not stop completely to rest during migration, but they will save their energy as much as possible to cope with the long and arduous migration process. 7. Are migratory salmon edible? During the migration of salmon, they usually do not eat and exert great energy, therefore, fishing and consumption are not recommended. In addition, laws in some areas prohibit salmon fishing during the salmon run, to ensure conservation work and sustainable salmon resources. Therefore, if you want to taste salmon, it is recommended to choose to eat it during the non-migratory period. 8. How do salmon choose where to breed? The method of reproduction of salmon is in vitro fertilization, that is, in the spawning place, the male fish squirts semen onto the eggs laid by the female fish, the eggs are fertilized and hatch into small fish. At the spawning site, pay attention to water quality, water depth, water flow, and bottom quality. 1. Water quality. Salmon require water temperatures between 10 degrees Celsius and 16 degrees Celsius to breed. A pH between pH 6.0 and pH 8.5. The oxygen content also needs to be sufficient to keep the fish metabolizing and breathing normally. 2. Water depth. Breeding water depth, usually between 1 and 2 meters. This ensures that the salmon can move freely in the water and not be disturbed by the outside world. 3. Water flow. Proper water flow helps salmon maintain balance while spawning and help fish eggs and fry to hatch and grow smoothly. 4. Substrate. Salmon prefer firmer substrates such as gravel and sand. A suitable substrate can provide proper shelter and protection, allow fish eggs and fry to hatch and grow smoothly. 9. How to distinguish between male and female salmon in migration. Male salmon will gradually become more colorful before migrating. Its head and body will have a red or green tinge. At the same time, the scales will become brighter, to attract a mate and show off its strong physique. However, female salmon will not have obvious color changes during migration. Usually maintains a softer appearance. In addition, during migration, the abdomen of female salmon is usually more prominent, because they need to carry more eggs to the breeding area. Finally, make a conclusion. During the migration process, every jump of salmon is a glorious mark of its life. During the migration process, the salmon once again showed their respect for life and the challenge of not shrinking back. Have gratitude. Upstream. Reproduce offspring. Sacrifice life. Be fearless. That's all for this video. Thanks for your attention. Click to subscribe. You won't miss every new video update. See you next time.